You'll be broke by spring. You'll never make it, that's a freaking stupid idea. Or you'll never have a successful butcher shop without domestic livestock. That's what some of the most tenured and professional butchers in the area said when we proposed that we were going to be doing only wild game. The meat processing industry is traditionally slow to change and notorious for putting hunters in the back seat because during the fall season, 99% of small processing plants use beef and pork to subsidize to keep the lights on throughout the season, and all the hunters and wild game take a back seat. So that's when we decided to break the mold and ditch domestic and leave all farm animals out of it and just continue to work on 100% wild game. Welcome to the channel where the metal meets the meat, where we'll be discussing real business insider information, hunting topics, meat and wild game processing tips and tricks. I'm Josh from Juniper Meat Company, and this is why we went with 100% wild game instead of domestic, and why it's been one of the best things for hunting in a long time. So traditionally, processing plants will do about 30 to 70 beef a week, but that leaves the hunters and the wild game for late night hours or even rushed through during the peak seasons. And it's understandable because mixing hundreds of wild animal carcasses creates bottlenecks in coolers, different safety and regulatory concerns. So by forcing wild game into the same workflow, it creates heavy-handed trimming and over-trimming and poor yield, and then a lot of times lengthy turnaround times. And when we started a butcher shop, we knew that we couldn't offer a premium service or quality cuts if hunters were always playing second fiddle to the beef and pork. So when we faced cutting out domestic, we realized that that was leaving a giant revenue gap that's seasonal. But what we did see was an industry that was kind of stuck in its ways, and a ton of hunters that wanted better quality, they didn't want mixed meat, and they wanted faster turnaround times. So what does this all mean for the hunting community? Well, it means that we're going to take the same care and respect with your animal as we do with ours. Myself and my cutters and trimmers, we're all hunters too, and so we kind of know and have a little bit more of an expectation and a realistic understanding of what it takes to bring an animal off the mountain. We have streamlined processes in place that have taken years to develop. We have automation and data analytics to back up our choices and decisions. So again, all this is put in place to make sure that you get your own meat back and that it's turned around in a timely manner. This channel isn't going to be about fancy meat cuts, but about training, transparency, and different insider information about the ins and outs of hunting and wild game processing. So subscribe and follow along. Some of our next videos are going to be about whether or not black pepper works to keep flies away from our carcass, or the red liquid inside our steak bags, or if it's blood or something else. So again, I'm Josh from Juniper Meat Company, and follow along. Thank you so much.